So I can't be coy. Being here today is a dream come true. This moment is the manifestation of my impulse, that internal knowing of who you are, what you want, and what you're meant to do with this one and only life you're lucky enough to be living. This is mine. I'm going to kick this off with a bit of a candid confession. Several years ago, I told my husband that if I was ever diagnosed with a terminal illness, I would want him to fill an auditorium, just like this, with people, just like you, so I could live my dream of being on a stage and sharing my message with the masses. You hear the issue with this scenario I've outlined, correct? That only in the face of impending death would I be willing to cultivate the courage and confidence to make my dream a reality? Luckily, I heard it too. And that's why I'm here today, because I chose to follow my impulse. I chose to create my impact. I was willing to feel all the feels, but I chose self-confidence. Because of the choices I made, I am living my dream today, with no terminal illness to speak of. Obviously, that wasn't always the case. The impulse was there and had been for decades, but the journey to creating my impact was one paved with so much fear and many doubt detours. See, I've known since I was 7 years old that I wanted to make the world a better place. I remember my mom asking me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said, I was going to find the cure for AIDS. She said, you'll need to be very good at science if you want to do that. And without missing a beat, I replied, no, Mom, I'm going to find it with my heart. So, in second grade, I directed, promoted, produced, and performed in a play to raise money for pediatric AIDS. See, in second grade, my impulse was not yet shrouded with the shame, fear, and doubt that stops so many of us from making our impact. That came later. It almost always does. It came when I graduated from Columbia with a BA in theater and more credits in psychology and sociology than might have been necessary for someone who had gone to school to become an actress. But I never became an actress. And not because I didn't get a part in a play, because I never tried. I doubted myself so much, I never even went on an audition. I was so scared of failing and being rejected, I never gave myself the chance to succeed. I failed in advance. I rejected myself before anyone else could reject me. So many of us do that. We let fear and doubt become the key decision makers in our lives instead of choosing courage and self-confidence. We let the what-ifs and the imagined worst-case scenarios stop us from even seeing what's possible. The problem with that isn't just that you miss out on your dreams, but the world misses out on your gifts. The impact that only you can make is not necessary without your willingness to try. And that requires self-confidence. Now, a quick Google search will offer you 853 million results for self-confidence. But today, I am going to give you the Leslie Randolph Confidence Coach Greatest Hits album from my training and my experiences so you can start to cultivate confidence and go create your impact. First and foremost, self-confidence is not a genetic lottery ticket. It is not a characteristic bestowed to the luckiest, the smartest, the prettiest, even the most skilled among us. Self-confidence is a choice. Self-confidence is not something achieved from your accomplishments or external validation. It is an inside job, which means the source of it comes from within as well. It's the feeling that fuels you to earn those accolades and garner that praise. But those are not the source of it. I want you to try on the belief that self-confidence is both a feeling that comes from loving, trusting, and believing in you, and the product of taking courageous action even when every other emotion is present. Spoiler alert. And this might spoil everything for you, but you have to hear it because it is the secret to self-confidence. Self-confidence does not make you immune to the human condition. There is no destination where doubt and fear no longer exist. Those emotions are all coming along for the ride. But you don't give them the keys to the car. Doubt cannot decide if you go on the audition. Fear cannot determine if you raise your hand in the classroom or speak up in the boardroom. Those emotions cannot be the loudest voice or have the final vote in what you do and don't do. You choose self-confidence. You allow that to be the decision maker. But that doesn't mean those emotions are going away. As long as you are a human being with breath in your body, those feelings are going to be present. It's part of our brain's evolutionary wiring to focus on the negative as a means to keep you safe and alive. In many ways, our mind still operates in a very primal way. It hasn't had the iOS updates our phones have every month. It's still on its factory level setting. And on this setting, it cannot discern between actual danger and emotional discomfort. It thinks all of the above are threats that need to be avoided at all costs. Lions, tigers, bears, rejection, failure, oh my, dangers. So the secret to self-confidence is not avoiding those emotions. It is being willing to feel them without allowing them to stop you from going after what it is you want and what you are meant to do. Honestly, this is why I am so skilled in self-confidence. I am fluent in fear and doubt. I have failed. I have been rejected, and I've lovingly taken care of myself on the other side of those experiences. No one is more intimately acquainted with those emotions than me. And I want the same for you. I want you to allow doubt. I want you to feel the fear. I want you to fail. I want you to be rejected. I want you to be willing to feel all the feels except regret. Wondering what could have been if you had chosen to believe in you. The only way to avoid regret is to try. And trying requires that feeling of self-confidence. Your feelings are your fuel. Every impulse you follow and impact you make is determined by how you feel. The same way you want premium fuel in your car to get you to your destination, you want premium fuel in your emotional tank to get you where you are meant to go in life. Doubt and fear are not premium fuel, my friends. Doubt and fear will derail you from your dreams. Now, the source of that emotional fuel will always be what you choose to think about you. What you choose to believe about yourself and your ability to create your impact. That is also a choice. And once you recognize that what you think about you, what you believe about yourself is a choice, then you can start to deliberately focus on all your strengths, your gifts and goodness, your promise and possibility. You can start to cheer yourself on towards creating the life you want and the impact you are meant to make. You can also choose to challenge the thoughts that create the doubt that's stopping you. Those thoughts are that voice in your head telling you, you can't do it. Who do you think you are? You're going to fail. Please hear me when I say those thoughts, they are not truths. They are not facts. They can't be. You have no idea what will happen until you take that first courageous step to see what's possible. Those thoughts are a story in your mind. And you're the one who's writing it. And that means you can rewrite it as well. You can choose to believe in you and your ability to figure it out. You can choose to believe you can handle any emotion that comes your way and trust that you will take care of yourself through them all. Now, this isn't just thinking happy thoughts. Sure, that's part of it. But it's allowing those thoughts to fuel you to take courageous action to prove them true. So let's say your brain says, you can't do it. I want you to stop, like literally stop. And identify that as a thought, not a fact. Notice the doubt you feel when you hear it. Then remind yourself, you don't have to believe it. You can choose to believe it, or you can choose to challenge it. Challenge it. Take the microphone in your mind away from doubt and give it to self-confidence. What would she say? She'd say, you can do it. I believe in you. Or she might say, you can figure this out. I've got you. Or maybe, you won't know until you try. Choose to believe that instead. And then go try. And try again. And keep trying and keep learning and keep trying, dusting yourself up and picking yourself up and trying again until you prove that true. You did it. Now, that might mean failing a few times. But that's when self-love comes in, to remind you that failing doesn't make you a failure. It means that way didn't work. And that's when self-trust comes in, to take care of you on the other side of it and then remind you, you're the capable captain of your life. You can figure out the next step forward, even if it means totally changing directions or deviating from the supposed right way to do it. And that's when believing in you comes in. On that journey to creating your impact, there may be days when you don't have evidence that it's all going to work out, that you're going to get where you're meant to go. And that's when you just choose to believe in you and your ability to create your impact. Let's be honest. Using my heart to find the cure for AIDS by becoming an actress was not the most rational roadmap or direct route to creating my impact. But by loving, trusting, and believing in me and feeling all the feels, I got myself exactly where I'm meant to be. Right here, sharing the secrets of self-confidence with you. Now, I said self-confidence was a choice, but it's also a skill. And like any skill, it takes practice. If you've been doubting yourself for years, then you might not yet be skilled at loving, trusting, and believing in you. That makes sense. Remember, you're going against biology when you choose self-confidence. I'd be lying if I said it was easy. It's simple. It's not easy. But you are worth the work. The impact that only you can make is worth the effort. I hope you make that choice. I hope you go back to your second grade dream, or say aloud the impulse you've quietly heard whispered in your mind for years. I hope you'll be willing to believe that you can create that impact. I hope you'll be willing to feel it all and take one courageous step forward to make it a reality. I know you can. I can't wait to see what you create when you do. Thank you.